Good morning from Pride Park, Derby. Welcome to match 12 of the 15 finals which make up the ESFA PlayStation Schools Cup Festival. This is the competition for under 13 boys, but with a maximum of 3 players who attend FA recognised academies or centres of excellence that can play in any match at any one time in the competition. The 2 finalists are St Bede's of Redditch, about 15 miles south of Birmingham in Worcestershire, who will play in blue and white stripes, and All Hallows of Farnham, Surrey, actually on the borders of Surrey and Hampshire, who will play in the claret and blue. Both teams have had a scare en route to the final. St Bede's were 2 down to Sandworth Academy at half-time in their quarter-final. They came back to 2-2. They conceded again in the 90th minute, but equalised in added time, and 2 free kicks in extra time saw them through. All Hallows needed extra time in the last 16 to beat the William Parker Academy of Hastings, in Hastings. Here is the St Bede's lineup. We expect them to operate with a back 3 today. Their main goal scorer is number 7, Jake Staunton, whose late equaliser took that dramatic quarter-final to extra time. Their coach and manager is the assistant head at St Bede's, Matt Russell. Matt certainly believes that All Hallows, who he travelled to Watford to watch in the semi-final on a scouting mission, are a bigger team than his, and size and indeed actual age can count for a great deal in these lower age groups. So here is the All Hallows team, and their goal scorer in chief, fittingly, is number 9, Owen Dean. 46 goals to his name this season, 47 last. He got a hat-trick in the semi-final against Queen's School of Watford. Indeed, all 3 goals in that match. Their manager, Lee Marker, is, he says, semi-retired centre-back now with Farnham Town in the Combined Counties Premier Division. The substitutes very much a part of considerations, and may well be involved in a rolling substitute setup that we have for these ESFA PlayStation Schools Cup finals. Alongside me is John Scales. The referee, incidentally, who it's important we mention, is Dan Andrews. And it's hardly spring weather for these finals, is it, John?
No, it's not at all. It's been consistent rain, I think, over the 3 days, I think it's fair to say. But listen, the pitch has held up brilliantly. The playing surface is immaculate. You know, to have had already 11 games on that pitch in such a short spell of time, I think is testament to what a fantastic job the groundsmen do here, end of the season. But what a venue for these youngsters to be playing, experiencing, and with so much at stake. It's this moment. Who can have all that adrenaline pumping through them, but also the control and the calmness to bring their A game to this. Really looking forward to another very entertaining game, I'm sure.
I'm playing on a full-size pitch, which is not standard for players at this level. At under 13, the pitch is usually 10 yards shorter and 5 yards narrower than a standard football pitch. And indeed, in regulation goals, and normally the crossbar is only 7 feet high for under 13s. Here today, the 2 goalkeepers, Callum Monaghan and Pat Nash, are playing in full-size 8-foot goals. Good luck, boys.
Just to test them that little bit more.
So, St Bede's of Redditch in the blue and white stripes. All Hallows will kick off in the claret. 35 minutes each way in the under 13 finals. And we are underway. All Hallows first onto the attack, and initial employment for the goalkeeper comes with Callum Monaghan, and it will be a slippy ball on a greasy surface. Good length kick from Monaghan. And Further away is by Stickland. The chance for Staunton to stretch his legs, and quickly off his line is Pat Nash, who his manager Lee Marker insists is one of the best under-13 goalkeepers in England, so he's not got much to live up to today. Here's Williams, the St Bede's highly rated captain. Decision has gone all Hallows' way.
You already seen with the surface here just how quickly the ball zips through. The ball through Jake Staunton. So as you say, Patrick Nash quick off his line, and that's going to be so important today that these keepers in the modern game don't dwell on the line, patrol that area efficiently and effectively, sweeping in behind their back fours, back threes. Oh, there's a mistake there.
And George Hall is in here with an opportunity. Hits the post, hits the other post, and it's squeezed in by Hodgson. St Bede's lead inside 90 seconds. Defensive catastrophe seized upon by the alert George Hall, whose luck appeared to be totally out, but St Bede's luck was in because Kean Hodgson was there to turn it into an empty net.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Paul Hallows consoling the centre half. The mistake here, we'll see again the slice kick. It's just coming off the other foot. So costly, and you've got to feel really sorry for Michael Stickland. Well, they've got to put that out of their system. But how quickly were they onto it, and how quickly was Kean Hodgson onto that post? Ricochet one, ricochet two, and well, off the mark in emphatic style early in this game, inside the first 2 minutes. Start that they would all dream of.
It'll be a big test of young Stickland's character now. It's difficult to clear your mind of an error of that significance when you're an adult player, let alone a junior, in a cup final, which he's had a month to think about. The semi-finals were a month ago. Downfield by Sanders. Pursued by Skelton. Two waiting in the centre. It's a well-timed challenge, though, by Ben Wisdom.
Yeah, Wisdom does well. There was just a moment on the halfway line where I thought he'd got his timing wrong, went into the challenge, and you just thought for a moment Skelton was going to get away from him. There it is, sliding in, conceding the corner, but the throw-in down in that far corner.
Here's Williams. Playing as a right wing-back, the number 11, who's about to take the throw. St Bede's operating with a back three with Skelton on the right flank and James Gwynn on this near side. Interesting tactical setup. That is a goal kick.
So again, the goalkeeper has no chance. Does what he can. Can't get up in time. There it is, rolls agonisingly across the goal line, and he's on hand to dispatch that in.
It was a good initial strike by Hall, who scored a long-range goal in the semi-final against Ashington. Here's Williams. Number 5 is Tom Sanders. Clearance by Regan Salisbury, playing at the heart of that back three towards the leggy Skelton again. He's got quite a height advantage over his opposite opponent, Ben Wisdom. St Bede's are particularly well supported. They had a crowd of 350 for their semi-final at Redditch United's ground.
Ben Wisdom already struggling to contain the attack.
Here's Skelton again. He's been dispossessed, and a chance for All Hallows to come forward. Dean just beaten to it by Salisbury. Skelton seeing a lot of the ball in the opening stages. It's Kai Tanner who's tackling back there.
And here we go.
Williams is the main playmaker, as you can see, a very technically gifted young man. Clearance was an awkward one for Crampton, but they rode the luck a little bit, and the loose ball didn't quite run for Staunton that time. They just need a few minutes to steady themselves, really, All Hallows, as I say, these boys have had the best part of 4 weeks to think about this occasion, to lose sleep over this occasion, for the adrenaline to start the run thinking about the final, and suddenly they're a goal down.
It's the worst start to any game for any group of players, is conceding a goal, and in that fashion it really does rock you back. So they have got to just compose themselves. Long way to go in this game. And on the flip side of that, St Bede's really want to capitalise on that, don't they? They've got their tails up, they've got this fantastic support, and they want to sort of turn the screw, if you like, look for a second goal, take control of the game. So it really is at a fascinating juncture, this, over the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes.
The ball by Bede. He's put Tanner in the clear here, and he's forced it goalwards, but it's just going to be scrambled off the line by Tom Sanders. But that's an indication of what All Hallows are capable of. Owen Dean, their goal scorer in chief, turning provider that time. But Kai Tanner couldn't quite convert the chance. Just let it run away from him a little bit, John.
Exactly, I was just going to say, it was that second touch from Kai Tanner. Takes it just half a yard too far. First touch, perfect. It's just this touch here, bang. Goalkeeper has that chance to come out and affect.
Very brave though, Callum Monaghan. Corner kick to All Hallows. Staunton can't quite clear it. Dean turning on the edge of the penalty area, but it's crowded out. Now a chance for St Bede's to counter-attack. On the ball, George Hall, so instrumental in their opening goal. Just unable to provide the scoring pass that time for Hodgson. But All Hallows are starting to settle now. Wisdom getting forward. Their record this season is played 23-1-23. They're averaging going on 6 goals a match. They know they've got plenty of firepower to get back into this match.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He was looking for the switch over. Owen Dean, right, pulling on the far shoulder of the left back. St Bede's, the ball not quite able to find him, going into the keeper quite comfortably.
Stevens losing out to Hall in midfield, but unable to get the goal scorer Hodgson on his way.
Yeah, you can just see the position that Owen Dean takes up, looking to be on the shoulder of Regan Salisbury, centre half. He looks to be the sort of man really going tight to him.
It's a fabulous challenge. George Pullen sliding in. One of the smallest players on the field, seems to have one of the biggest tackles. Skelton getting forward again though for St Bede's, and winning another throw-in. Good contest that between Skelton and Wisdom on that far side. The turn is a smart one by Hodgson, and it's a corner kick.
Yeah, Josh Stevens does very well. Just goes out there, covers the danger. You'll see it just for a second. You think he's going to get the ball in and across. Good block.
Charlie Williams working the short corner. Now he can pick across. It's in towards Hall at the near post. Hall's done well to keep this alive and find a cross. It's just a little too tall for everybody. Barrett couldn't quite catch up with it.
Yeah, just late lunging tackle there. Referee calls it back.
It's a day for sliding tackles, isn't it?
Absolutely. George Hall, lovely little feet. But it all came from the short corner. All Hallows still not quite switched on. Can't have a 2v1 situation over in that far corner for the corner. Got to be alert to the danger. And there are all these little things just add up to the insecurity that All Hallows are continuing to suffer here.
Here's Williams on the ball, seeking out Skelton. He'll have to stretch those long legs to keep that in. Can't quite. But Williams, number 10 for St Bede's, looks a real player. Their skipper, he's on the books of Aston Villa as a youth. And he's one of the ones with the really high reputation coming into this match. It all seems to revolve around the number 10 in blue, Charlie Williams. Well, on the ball again.
Taking up that classic position, number 10 role. Playmaker, finding pockets of space.
Tanner's won a throw in here, though, for All Hallows. Wisdom. It's just a little loose. He's presented it to Williams. Tries for Wynn to get forward. He's broken the challenge of St George. Staunton looking for Wynn again. Cover is good, and importantly so, from Harvey St George. As the St Bede's fans.
Yeah, Harvey St George does well to track back, recover, avert the danger.
Wynn. Dug out a cross, which is well cleared by little George Pullen. Williams back on the ball, though, for St Bede's. Good challenge by Jobson, and a chance to counter here. Williams was pulling his shirt. It's in the possession of Dean. Good advantage played by the referee. Dean managed to squeeze in a cross. Jobson involved again.
Yeah, well, it's that battle again, isn't it? Owen Dean, Regan Salisbury. Wonderful to watch. Dean trying to force his way down that right-hand channel. At least he wanted to get a corner, maybe, or certainly wanted to get in and get a shot on goal. Try and bring this All Hallows team back into this game.
St Bede's cheerleaders in full cry. It's quite a story this year. They've had no football field at school all year because of a construction project of a new sports hall. They've had to lean on one or two neighbouring schools for practice facilities, practice in the playground, play some of my best football on concrete in the playground. Used to be a demon warpasser off the science block. Well, there's a head injury there. We're going to have to just stop for George Pullen to have some attention.
Hopefully he's all right. Yeah, I remember the days of playing on the tennis courts, the concrete tennis courts, Rossett High School up in Harrogate, and incredibly hit the ball through and over the fence and through the music hall window. Shattered glass in there, and didn't go down well with the head teacher, and I did exactly the same thing about 3 days later. Never ever again, but 3 days. I mean, incredible.
So George Pullen, the All Hallows skipper, is down. He plays for Farnham Town at under 13 level. Many of the All Hallows boys do, and they've won league and cup trebles the last 3 years. 9 of the All Hallows boys are in that squad. And Lee Marker, their manager, is still involved with Farnham Town himself. Plays a little bit less these days. He coaches the district team also, which many of the All Hallows boys play. So they're quite a tightly knit group. They play a lot of football together at the various teams.
Well, it's incredible. We haven't even had 15 minutes of this game yet. Seems to have been action-packed, incident-packed.
Well, sometimes an early goal does that. Sometimes it unlocks the door for both teams. But All Hallows, after that shaky start, have begun to steady in with a little glimpse of what they've got coming forward. Sharp challenge by Wisdom. Here's Staunton.
Of St Bede's who come charging forward on this right-hand side.
Skelton receiving the ball from Hodgson. They're seeing a lot of each other, those two. Wisdom had the final say in that particular tussle.
Just thinking exactly that. Ben Wisdom's got to stick at his task there, hasn't he? And he's doing a sterling job so far. He's been put under a lot of pressure.
A bit of debate over that decision, but it's gone the way of All Hallows. Staunton. Williams trying to seize on it. It's well defended, though. by Owen Crampton. Here's the rangy Tom Martin. One off the ball though by Tom Sanders. Now Paul. James Wynn always available on this left-hand side. Nice to break the challenge of Pullen, who happily looks restored to full health, but he didn't really capitalise on that situation.
Yeah. He's lost his head in those final moments, didn't he, of going for glory from way out. Optimistic, ambitious. Probably much to the frustration of his teammates.
So the only goal so far scored inside 90 seconds by Cian Hodgson for St Bede's of Redditch. Skelton in towards Staunton, turned away well by Owen Crampton. Back three's operating well for St Bede's. To be sharp in the challenge, Dean trying to help it on. It's fallen for Jobson. Now Kai Tanner looking for Dean. Important interception by Regan Salisbury. Tossed forward by Williams. Real ebb and flow about the game now. Hall on the ball for St Bede's. Skelton once more. Hall has made a good run into space and the return pass slightly overhit.
Well, it's interesting. All Hallows really more of a classic 4-4-2 at the moment. As you say, St Bede's with that three at the back, these full-backs, the wing-backs have got to get back, and that's, well, it's easy one for the assistant referee down here to give the foul.
Bit late, got there as quick as I could, ref. James Wynn catching Owen Dean. Interesting that Dean, the goal-scoring chief, is actually going to take the free kick that he himself has won. But he's got an extra turn of pace, just nicked it away from the defender.
Shouldn't he be in the box?
The delivery from wide positions is important, really, for under-13 players. There's so many players out there who've got the kicking ability to get it into a competitive area. And Dean is clearly one of them.
Well, it's that channel just between the goalkeeper and the defenders. That's the line, 6-yard box. Make it difficult, get the defenders facing the goalkeeper.
Dean takes a really good one towards the head of Martin. It worked that well. It's beautifully delivered by Dean. And Tom Martin, who might just be the tallest player on the field, but he's got 39 goals this season, incidentally.
Oh.
Right into the danger area.
That's a good header for an under-13.
That is a good header. Didn't trouble the goalkeeper, but it's a marker laid down that they are a threat at set pieces.
Martin had got a hat-trick in the quarter-final. 4-0 win against the Forest School of Wokingham. The local derby, that. And he's back on the ball here, Martin, with a chance. And that was a better chance, a clearer chance. I think Dean was calling for it, but it was Martin in the centre of the goal who had the better sight of goal.
You just see on the surface, coming across his body, watching it all the way,
Stretching, wasn't he, in the final stride?
Yeah, he was. Didn't look comfortable in the end.
It's difficult with the ball coming across your body like that. It's better from All Hallows. Probably their best couple of minutes of the game so far. Some real chances. Jobson strong enough in midfield. Into the path of Kai Tanner. Tanner squeezed in towards Martin. Dean's there too. Wouldn't quite break for All Hallows. But the pressure is growing. Kanye Jobson's back on the ball. A bit more defending for St Bede's to do now. Cracking challenge coming in from Little Pullen again. There's plenty going on. Dean with some afters there, getting involved with Regan Salisbury.
Yeah, Regan Salisbury's done very well. Again, it's that little match-up with Owen Dean. Owen just conceding the foul there, but you're right. Really good little spell this is for All Hallows. They're pushing, probing, getting bodies forward, committing players into those dangerous advanced areas. You sense the tide is turning somewhat. St Bede's have got to weather this period.
St George now, well.
It's been quite an intense and pacey final so far, and still got 15 minutes of the first half to play. Fatigue will become a factor as the game wears on. Dean forward towards Tanner.
Lovely skill from Dean.
For Owen Dean. Sits up for Jobson. Squeeze into the path of Martin. Can Tanner keep it in? He can just. Jobson's there! Oh, save that is, by the way.
Had to be.
Somehow kept out by Callum Monaghan. But what a chance that was for Kanye Jobson.
Well, Josh Stevens, you just think, has got to score. Comes onto the ball pulled back brilliantly. And, well, Callum Monaghan keeps his team with his slenderest of 1-0 leads that gets narrower and narrower by the minute with the pressure all Hallows putting on this.
This is Hodgson. Side down just outside the penalty area by Harvey St George.
You just felt the chance had gone begging, didn't you? And then it was Kai Tanner gets on the ball, slots it back in. It's got to be surely the equaliser, and what a save.
Kanye Jobson, I'm reliably informed, was named after his mum's favourite rapper. I wonder who that could be. I did a bit of research. Kanye West's first album was only released in 2004, so Mum must have been she must have been in there at the start. And young number 8 will be Kanye forever, long after Kanye West has disappeared from the scene. Anyway, down at the other end, a free kick which Charlie Williams will take for St Bede's, a lead by a goal to nil. He got a screen over his shoulder there. He can watch himself if he turns around. Charlie. Williams takes. Oh, it's a bit of a scramble. Hacked goalwards by Sanders. Chance again for Williams to cross. Turned away by Pullen. An opportunity for Dean to set up a counter-attack here for All Hallows. He's got Jobson running free. If he can find him, he couldn't quite conjure up the pass that was needed. But here's Wisdom, and now Kai Tanner, and here's Jobson, who will be keen to atone for that miss. Tanner again, into Dean, laid off for Martin. Good defending, though, by Salisbury. It's a proper contest now, two evenly matched teams. It's a terrific pass from Williams, out to Skelton.
Charlie Williams finds his man. It's back.
Downfield by Matthew Barrett. Jobson. There's an offside flag up here. Tom Martin hadn't quite recovered his position.
Well, you can see Owen Dean on the right-hand side of the attack, Tom Martin on the left, trying to link up play. You're right, Kanye Jobson just trying to link the play and influence that midfield area, get on the ball as much as he can.
Haven't seen the great deal of Staunton yet. Running win. Towards Hudson.
Congratulations from Hudson on that. It's nice to see this level of sportsmanship.
It's just a little loose from Hudson.
Good tackle from Michael Stickland. That fault for the opener. And they'll enjoy that one.
Well, to shift the ball in towards Staunton. It was a tempting cross there, well delivered from this left-hand side by the naturally right-footed James Wynn. You think it's anxious for the managers, think what it's like for the parents. They can get 33,500 into Pride Park. It's not quite full. They're making the noise of several thousand, the fans who are inside for this under-13 boys final. Jobson on the ball for All Hallows, helped on by Martin, very skillfully by Kai Tanner. Here's Ben Wisdom. Skipped into a bit of space, but shown too much of that to Tom Sanders.
an All Hallows throw.
It's just had a slight lull in the last couple of minutes. Intense pace of this game. 25 minutes in, almost the first pause for breath.
They just got to not rest on their laurels. The lead is slim. It can easily be cancelled out. As Hobson comes.
Stickland thought about going back to his goalkeeper, but he's dealt with that very capably indeed. And set with a pass, which is straight to Hall. Hall did foul Pullen.
Yeah,
Free kick will go All Hallows' way.
All Hallows got to be careful of them. They get on the ball early, quickly, turn. It was good that St Bede's, even in those moments with the goal lead, was prepared to harry and hustle and put pressure on the man on the ball and the goalkeeper. So the last thing you want to do is make it easy for the opposition.
Wisdom. Wasn't the best of passes for Pullen, in truth. Win with the early ball forward. He's misjudged it.
James Wynn been on the ball a couple of times in good areas. And he's had room and space, hasn't he, on the left-hand side. A couple of times could have used the ball a little bit better.
Really great clearance there from Ruben Salisbury. This is great work stopping that attack.
All Hallows playing with the back four and then pretty narrow, aren't they, in midfield? That's the space for St Bede's to exploit wide areas.
Watch the game, girls, come on.
Thomas and George now with the throw.
Nothing worse for a parent if your son says, "Do you see that great pass I played?" No, I was taking a selfie
Too
of myself
busy
with the
with the
girls at the
selfie.
times.
Look. Too many distractions.
There's a festival atmosphere, genuine. A lot of parents hang around to see other games and lend a sense of atmosphere that's real. Coming together, a lot of these schools are reaching successive finals. St Bede's reached the last 16 of this competition at under 12 level last year.
They need some work on their banners, I've got to say. You've got a white sheet, then you need a pen that at least stands out with the message.
You need a permanent marker on a day like this too.
Put it the right way around or upside down.
Hall with a miss kick. This is Kanye Jobs. Tom Martin.
And here on the left, on the right-hand side, Tom Martin.
It's not the first time that his footing hasn't been as assured as maybe his teammates would want or he would. Tom Martin, number 11, had a couple of sights of goal, but yet to hit the target. Yeah, foul throw.
It's a foul throw.
And that's now a throw in favour of St Bede's. St Bede's deep in their defensive half, looking to find a way to get that ball forward and out of the threat of All Hallows, who really are
Done by Bradley. As far as Pullen.
Looking for Tanner, he finds Tanner.
Good work by Kai Tanner.
Still dancing around and
There's
passing
Wisdom.
back, looking for some space.
Just over the head of Dean.
For someone that doesn't quite find anyone.
A bit of a miscue back there by Harry Bradley. Decision here has gone All Hallows' way in a very dangerous situation.
Free kick and a very
Harry Dean couldn't wait to get that ball in his hands and place it. I don't think there's going to be much debate about who's taking this one.
Owen Dean standing over this one. We saw a fabulous
46 goals for the school this season, another 27 for Aldershot District. His reputation goes before him.
really needed to
I've already seen one marvellous save from Callum Monaghan, though.
shot here.
So he looks like he's going to blast this. Is it going to be pace? It's in that awkward central area. I think he is going for pace and power. So whether he can miss the wall, at least test the keeper.
All Hallows a trail for most of this first half. Here's Owen Dean, straight into the wall. They'll strike it again. Just too many players between Dean and his target, and he never quite steadied himself for the second effort.
He did win pace and power. The wall, although they turned their back and split slightly, did their job. I think it was number 3, Harry Bradley, that it hit. And then the follow-up, couldn't get his head down over the ball. This is a good strike, but the wall does its job. And then the follow-up, just gets underneath it.
But all Hallows have got the team more likely in the last 10-15 minutes or so. And here's Dean back on the ball. Just dispossessed by Wynn. Hall just trying to steady things a little bit for St Bede's. Rode the challenge from Kaitana, delivered it forward, and Staunton was suddenly galloping clear, but it ran away from him, and Pat Nash was able to come to the edge of his penalty area and grab it. Staunton knows he had a side of goal there.
Yeah, what a ball from George Hall. Oh, phenomenal cross ball into the middle, split the 2 centre halves, and it was Staunton going to be able to get a touch, and a good touch on that? He wasn't.
Constantly keeping that midfield and defence on their toes. Really great coverage.
Had a little loose from Josh Stevens.
Nash now with the delivery out.
It's run away from Hall, and it's run into the path of Martin. He's just squeezed off the ball by Sanders. It was good defending there. Hall's been one of the stars of the show so far. What a pass that was.
Yeah, just that touch there. Needed to touch it out of his feet into his path.
St George. It's found a way through to Dean. Dean going for goal himself. He had a simpler pass on to Martin, but they know they're creating chances now, and they know they want to try to capitalise before half-time.
Well, they do. Just 3 minutes of this first half remaining, and I think they were desperate to go in level. Shouldn't panic if they don't, but certainly be a bit of half-time team talk if they can pull one back.
Here's Dean again. They can make a strong argument for saying they deserve to be on terms by now. All Hallows are getting better and better.
Well, it's been one-way traffic the last 20 minutes, really, hasn't it? St Bede seem to be comfortable to sort of concede possession, but they're playing a dangerous game if they allow that to continue. Central midfield areas have got to be dominated better from their perspective. Exploit these wide areas, as we've said on a couple of occasions.
Skipper Williams showing some responsibility, coming to get the ball.
Nice.
Forward to Staunton. Easy enough for Wisdom, though. And he's lost out to Skelton. His effort was a little ambitious from range. Here comes Dean again, feeding off a little flick from Martin. Jobson and Tanner wait in the centre. Dean is so quick, he really is, and he's drawn that kind of foul now 2 or 3 times.
Well, Regan Salisbury didn't need to make the challenge. I thought he was just jockeying him nicely here, just got him going where he wants him to go, down to the byline, not going anywhere, but he can't resist, can he? Has the nibble, and as we've seen, Owen Dean with that fleet of feet, just skipping away, drawing in the foul.
But Owen Crampson's forward from the back here.
Salisbury needed to know he didn't need to dive in such a dangerous area. Final minute of normal time in the first half. What a time to get back level this would be.
From this wet surface here at Pride Park on this rainy afternoon.
Be Dean to deliver again.
Owen Dean now with the delivery, and it's a good delivery.
Into a very good area. They defended it pretty well out as far as Kaitana, but Dean's back on the ball. Oh, it's a very good low square pass and some alert goalkeeping once more by Callum Monaghan. He's recently been released by Walsall, the St Bede's goalkeeper. I think there was a lot of surprise in the camp when that happened. There were one or two other professional clubs looking at Callum Monaghan.
Well, they're searching for an equaliser. All Hallows, and you sense if they keep this up.
Yeah, it was good goalkeeping. Covered the near post brilliantly.
The save from Jobson midway through the half is astonishing.
Yeah, there he is, comes out. Sometimes he can be rooted to the spot in the goal, but he's out there covering the near post. You can see Tom Martin hovering behind him, ready to pounce.
Colin showed too much of that in the hall.
Is that their last chance to get on the score sheet, pull things even?
Who's going to win this one?
Skelton versus Wisdom again on that far side, and Wisdom has nicked the ball beautifully. And here comes Kai Tanner, last opportunity perhaps for All Hallows in the half. Dean. Owen Dean still going. Just couldn't quite get his head over it. I think he's taken a nick on the way through. Corner's been given. Did Monaghan get a hand to it?
Yeah, he did. That's my sight from here. Just flicked it over the bar. Not sure whether it was going to dip in time, but wasn't sure, was he? Monaghan had to make sure. There's a little flick, glove on it. Again, how many more of these chances? How many are they going to rue? Owen Dean, I felt maybe side foot. Should have had the composure maybe to side foot it in that far post.
Left-footed Wisdom, whose elder sister Hannah is involved in the coaching of the team. Sixth former at All Hallows. Ben coming across to take this corner. Away by Hall. Well, it's been a frustrating half for All Hallows. One individual error punished ruthlessly in the opening seconds of the game. But the longer the game has gone on, the better they've looked. And the St Bede's manager, Matt Russell, will know that this is far from done. He's going to have a little bit of time now with his team, as Lee Marker is going to have with the All Hallows side. It's been a really compelling first half, with a goal inside 90 seconds by Cian Hodgson separates St Bede's and All Hallows at the break. 1-0 St Bede's have it.
Well, there it is, a fabulous display in this second game of the day. Now then, if you do want to get involved today, at the end of the chance of winning a PlayStation 4, you can do.
So let's look back on the main incidents of the first half with John Scales.
Yeah, number 2. This was the tragic mistake and slip by Michael Stickland. The shot coming in from George Hall ricochets off the near post. The keeper can do nothing. Ricochets off the second post, and there, Cian Hodgson on hand to follow it up. And you've got to feel sorry for Michael Stickland, number 5. Costly mistake that hasn't been corrected throughout that first half, despite All Hallows having the majority of possession, the majority of chances. There's a replay of it, just there, a little slip, pounces on the ball. You've got to give him credit, George Hall, for how quickly he gets to it. And there it is, spins away. The delight of Cian Hodgson, clear for all of us to see. And he knows just how significant that breakthrough is. There's a chance, that was a chance, wasn't it, for Tom Martin getting on it, couldn't get it, and then it falls back in there, and you think surely it's got to be. Good chance for Jobson, can you, Jobson? Good goalkeeping, stays big, gets across, knocks it away.
We're going to start with a practice.
So there you go. It doesn't begin to tell the story of the first half. Bare scoreline. St Bede's 1, All Hallows 0.
Man at the top there, Mo, is going to be.
St Bede's and All Hallows ready on the pitch for the second half. And Matthew and I.
We're ready for the second half of the boys under-13 final between St Bede's of Redditch in the blue and white stripes and All Hallows of Farnham, Surrey, in the claret maroon shade of shirts. The first goal, the only goal, scored inside 90 seconds by Cian Hodgson, the number 9 for St Bede's.
It's good is the final score. There you go.
Charlie Williams, the skipper, will he get his hands on the trophy at the end of the next 35 minutes? Certainly plenty to encourage All Hallows as that first half progressed. And in a strange sort of way, their manager maybe has had more positive vibes, John Scales, to feed on from the game so far, even though they're losing.
Well, I think that's certainly the message in the dressing room at half-time. He'll be saying to his players, look, you've played excellently, you've got back in the game, possession-wise, attempts on target, creating things, and keep that momentum going, keep the intensity of the game, and you will get more chances. And it's just now whether those chances can be converted.
Wisdom with the throw. Seized upon by Skelton. Will come for Hall. Here's Williams again. Hall. Oh, there's a chance for the goal scorer, Hodgson. Seize upon it. He became almost too quickly from the restart, although he was alert enough in the opening couple of minutes of the first half, that's for sure. Here's St George. Forward towards Martin.
That was a wonderful play from St Bede's. Swift, quick interchange.
Williams again. Opportunity for Skelton again to raid down the right-hand side. Seen off by Michael Stickland. Williams pulling the strings once more in towards Staunton. He's got a chance, but he's been given offside. He was just lingering in an offside position when the initial ball came through. It did come off an All Hallows player, but it was a deflection, really.
Yeah, it was already the initial ball.
Really good playing of the offside there from the
Offside position confirmed.
stopping Staunton, who was pretty suffocated out of this game by the defensive coverage.
Just another indication. George Hall in that midfield area. Charlie Williams, number 10, pulling the strings at times. So when they lose possession, they've got to be alert to the dangers that All Hallows possess.
St Bede's looking to increase the gap. All Hallows desperate to close it. Remember, as we saw in the last
Clearance by Pullen. By Sanders. A time for Barrett to get it away. A little bit of time for Crampton now. Maybe a little bit too much time. Away by Nash, back to Crampton. Steadies himself this time. Win. And a sharp challenge by George Pullen.
Well, it's an important interception. Vital that he got that tackle. Side flags up. Good pace down the far left-hand side.
Plenty of support for St Bede's.
Always happy when they're spotted on the big screen, aren't they? It's that moment when they realise. Just wondering, great support here for St Bede's. I wonder how many back are in school at Redditch watching this. I know surely there must be some from All Hallows down in Farnham watching these pictures in this game.
It's a tough watch for Mum and Grandma. Here's Dean. Again, just finding that extra yard of pace to elude a challenge and find a cross. There's a touch of class about much of Owen Dean's play. Plenty of determination about Ben Wisdom. He's won a free kick.
Yeah, George Skelton just holding him up unfairly. They're coming together, the two of them. And Wisdom had the advantage of getting to the ball first. Oh, All Hallows been really frustrated here at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, we had a little reminder of St Bede's attacking potential in the first couple of minutes of this second half, but now the game is starting to follow the pattern of much of the first. Jobson finding St George. Smashed away by Williams. Now he's trying to keep the pressure on. Number 4 is Josh Stevens. Martin. He's found Harvey St George. And, came last off St George for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think the system for St Bede's is working a treat for them. The 3 at the back, I think, allows the 5 in midfield, 2 wing-backs to make that 5 in those central key areas. The 2 up front allows them to have a good outlet ball as well. Seems to just suit them, doesn't it, on this big, huge pitch for them. Will never have played in such acres of space at this level before.
Here's Staunton. Just for a moment when Crampton halted his run, as if he was expecting a flag. As a result, he's had to concede a corner. Staunton just stole a march on Owen Crampton there for a second.
Yeah, it was as if once Owen Crampton got his legs opened up, big, tall, imposing figure alongside Michael Stickland.
Got a glimpse of Matt Russell, the St Bede's coach. It might just be his last game with these players. He's the assistant head at St Bede's. He's also an SLE, a specialist leader working with PE teachers at other schools, so he's got a lot on his plate. He's not sure that his job commitments will allow him to continue. It's a good ball in and a real opportunity, and it's a header just wide of the mark. James Wynn, I think, got the final touch for St Bede's. It's a snap opportunity. Williams with the corner.
Good opportunity to extend their lead, wasn't it? Ball floats in. Who's going to take charge of the situation? Nobody really takes control, and there it is.
This is Wynn's header.
James Wynn with that. Just pushing it wide of the post. Really should have hit the target at least. There's a wonderful occasion, isn't it, for all ages. Great fun.
Barrett with a free kick. Come out as far as Williams, just hurled off the ball by Kanye Jobson. This is a really strong run by Jobson. Now can he get his head up and find a pass? There's your answer. Dispossessed by Harry Bradley. But here come All Hallows again, and here's Dean. The pass slightly overhit by Martin, and the goalkeeping once again very, very courageous from Callan Monaghan.
Well, he had to be very brave there because he was being chased down by Owen Dean, and you felt had he not slid and been assertive, take control of this situation, then Dean may well have got a toe poke. He actually got there first, didn't he?
Proper save, wasn't it?
Yeah. Excellent goalkeeping.
Here they come again, though, with Harvey St George, and it's just beyond Dean. Martin, back to Wisdom. And that's a loose one. A good reaction in the end by Michael Stickland, but St Bede's have an opportunity to break. Wisdom in with a sliding challenge. Hall will take it on, though, for St Bede's. Take it past Crampton. He's got support too. Chance for James Wynn to cross, and in goes Staunton, and Hodgson couldn't quite make it. And in the end, it's a goal kick and a wonderful opportunity for St Bede's to double their money.
That was sloppy play I think, from All Hallows down in their attacking half. Gave the ball away, a couple of tackles. For me, George Hall was the one who sort of asserted himself on that passage of play. Good release down the left-hand side, and then the ball in the far post. Surely it was going to be the second goal for them. Agonisingly past that far post.
It was close, wasn't it? Here's Williams. Better spell this for St Bede's. That's ambitious, but awkward for the goalkeeper, who kept his nerve.
Well, your heart's in your mouth, isn't it, in these massive goals for them?
Yeah.
You don't want to see a goalkeeper beaten simply because the size of the goals just mean that it's in that position that he can't possibly save.
Good sound keeping by Pat Nash. And his team are coming forward again with Tom Martin. Pat Nash christened Pat after the great Pat Jennings. Fascinating story. His dad, Doug, was a Spurs fan. Pat was an Arsenal fan. So just as well that Jennings played for Arsenal too. He is now on Reading's books, so he is a confirmed Royal. Looking forward to Wembley, no doubt. Pat Nash, the All Hallows goalkeeper. Jobson can't quite keep that in. Well, St Bede's have had a couple of decent sights of goals since the break. We've talked about All Hallows having a lot of the game. When he won down, there's a real jeopardy pushing forward. And the danger of the counter-attack coming from 2 down really would be asking a lot on this big pitch. Free kick to St Bede's.
Yeah, Jobson on Bradley.
Chance for All Hallows to counter. It's a ball 2 from Kai Tanner into the path of Owen Dean. Looks really comfortable in possession, Dean. He's forced a corner.
Well, he has, but Regan Salisbury, again, stuck to his task excellently. I think defensively, St Bede's know they're in a really tough challenge up against this All Hallows side, but so far they've resisted everything.
Don't necessarily want to be sat next to her, do you?
They're in fine voice, aren't they? Not sure.
I think they're being told to be in fine voice. I think
they've got no option.
No, I think the teacher's fairly insistent.
Cracking the whip.
Corner for All Hallows. In goes Martin. He's got another chance. Oh, stopped on the line by the keeper somehow. Really good stop by Callum Monaghan. Just reacted, stopped it with his foot.
Well, it's incredible, isn't it? Tom Martin, with nearly 40 goals this season. Owen Dean with nearly 50 goals this season. I mean, quite remarkable. They haven't got the score sheet. They've, I think, had 4 or 5 good chances between them. Still, they can't opening the scoring for All Hallows and get back on level terms.
Jobson with a firm header forward. Dean couldn't quite reach that. He might reach this one, though. It just came off his shin. He saw it lay. Wisdom on the ball. Will Martin catch that? No, he won't.
It's just going to be one of those days where whatever they do, here we'll see Tom Martin again. The flick falls to him. And here's the volley. I think on his preferred left foot. Oh, he's lucky the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he didn't know much about it, Monaghan, did he? There's Lee Marker in the foreground, and Hannah Wisdom, the elder sister of the left-back Ben. Lee, who took the school's under-13 girls team to Wembley 5 years ago and won a national cup. Just a bit of a concern here over Harry Bradley. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue.
Oh. Yeah, unfair from Tony Jobson. Overzealous on George Hall. You know, I think the referee's just going to have a little word with him. Tony Jobson just been told that maybe one over there, and that's your last chance. That's pretty straightforward and clear, isn't it? No misunderstanding there. 1, 2, next one. You're in my pocket, son.
Number 14 is Brandon Catton, who is a left-sided player, and he's played in every game en route to the final. And he'll come on now in place of Harry Bradley. That's what we're playing for. The ESFA Under-13 Boys Cup Trophy.
Well, it's become the most wonderful partnership between the English Schools FA and PlayStation over the last 4 years. I've been involved with it all and looked at
Offside,
some
by the way.
fantastic matches down these past 4 years. Great, you see. Day out. Lots of playing football on the pitch, singing practice in the stands.
We'll catch up with your homework later on.
Yeah. How can that be offside? I just don't get that. You know, you throw the ball in, level at worst, but I think he's just played it down the line. Extraordinary. Oh dear.
Yellow card for Mr. Scales, dissent. Here's the goal scorer, Hodgson. That's a really good recovery by Stickland.
Yeah,
Tanner trying to get clear. This front three have carried a real threat. Dean. Dean has skipped into space. He's got St George with him. Challenge was a fair one. St George has knocked it back to Tanner. And here's Jobson. He's trying to play in Martin. Martin shot straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, I think you've got to give huge credit to Saunders and Salisbury, 5 and 6, St Bede's, and the rest of them. But you see how they swarm around Owen Dean here. Watch, they shepherd him, push him out wide. There they are. The two.
Tell you what, did Salisbury get the ball there?
Just got a touch. It was tight, wasn't it? I mean, we're given the benefit of doubt unless we can get it confirmed otherwise, but that was very close in the penalty box.
It's his first year as a defender, the number 6 he has. He's got studs on the ball. It's a terrific challenge, you know.
Absolutely.
Switch from midfield this year, and it's made a real impact on his game. Jobson. It'll come for Dean. Good work by Hall. Chance for St Bede's to counter. Hodgson on the ball. Trying to get Hall breaking beyond the defence and really alert goalkeeping. Pat Nash came a long, long way there. He had to get that right.
Well, he did. You know, just going back to that previous incident when Owen Dean broke into the box, there was a moment where I thought he could have released it to Martin, then it came back to Martin and he had a weaker shot. It's decision-making in that final third, isn't it? So critical. Can't deny that Owen wants to look for that breakthrough goal to get them back on level terms, but once or twice, I think the ball can be released and passed that second quicker, sooner, someone in a better position.
He's drawn a number of fouls in this game, but that one wasn't a foul. Really well challenged by Regan Salisbury. Was out of play.
Well done.
That's a useful ball from Hall. Williams can't quite reach it, but Ben Wisdom taking no chances.
Well, heading towards the hour mark, the legs are starting to tire a bit. There's some mileage out there, haven't they? There's 22 players out on the pitch.
Matt Russell's team are on the verge. Edging closer to the finish line. Extraordinary, really. The only goal was scored inside of 90 seconds. Skelton. Back to Hall. Into Staunton. Looking for the instant pass to the substitute Catton. Didn't quite come off, and here all Hallows are on the break again. Dean's pass not precise enough. Staunton with the header on. This is Hodgson. Well defended though by Stickland. Williams. Just a little loose, and Skelton was off balance. Here's Lee Marker. There comes a point, however well your team are playing, you can just encourage them enough, and then somehow you've got to ask them to dig deeper, because good performance it may be, the scoreline says different. Catton, though, has given it away to St George. Got round the outside and found a cross. Dean was there, but it's just scooped away in the nick of time.
Yeah, Regan Salisbury there again. Great work, great defensive position that he took up.
Martin. Williams showing some poise on the ball. Hall, who's been full of energy and get up and go. Dragged down, though, in the end by Kaitana.
You'll see defensive work in front of goal. Regan Salisbury. It's had a brilliant game alongside Tom Saunders, his colleague.
Some beats now. Good ball forward. For some beats throughout.
I do think the system's worked brilliantly for them.
Skelton with a throw. And free kick has been given against Cian Hodgson for leaning in. Not too far home for St Bede's. It's the other side of Birmingham. Not too far from home in this match either. Here's Charlie Williams. Good ball into the path of Skelton. It's nicked away from win by Jobson. Here's Dean. He's got St George up with him. And here's Harvey St George. And it's another really well-timed challenge, this time by Matthew Barrett. They have defended impressively, St Bede's. George Hall has been as good as anybody for me, surging forward again. Unable to link up with Staunton, though. Turned away by Stickland.
Absolutely phenomenal. It's literally end to end, and then go at it again with the painter snuffed out by the Sabine.
Skelton. Well seen, though, by Stickland. Hasn't let his head go down at any stage of the match. Michael Stickland.
No, I think that's a real testament to his character. Shone through that he's responded so brilliantly and led by example at the back there.
A little more than 10 minutes to go. Lee Marker looking anxiously at his watch. Jobson. I think Lee's team are playing so well, he'd be hard-pressed to make a tactical change, in one sense, but he may just need some extra legs in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He has a striker, Harry Hyde, on the bench, who is an outstanding athlete. He was third in the London Mini Marathon this year, Harry Hyde.
Wow.
So he'll have legs. Williams just couldn't quite divert the ball in the way that he wanted. There are some weary souls out there now.
Yeah, there definitely are. Certainly the epitome of going to get a fresh pair of legs on to manage the mini marathon.
Little flick on by Martin. Dean trying to respond to it. The man who does respond is Regan Salisbury. That's the St Bede's reserve goalkeeper Callum Reid, who was the keeper in both the quarter-finals and the semi-finals, and Matt Russell said it was a tough decision to leave him out for this one, so it looks like he's going to just give him a little taste of the action. Williams, meanwhile, into the path of Hodgson.
Oh, what a waste.
Now, was that a chip or was it a miscued cross?
Not sure. Charlie Williams again. Nice little weighted ball down into the right-hand channel.
Well, Monaghan's done nothing wrong, but apparently Reid has done nothing wrong in the route to the final, so it would be good for him to get a little taste of the big day. They obviously trust him. Staunton on the ball for St Bede's. There's one a corner. This is the end of the field that St Bede's want the ball.
Time is really running out now, isn't it?
And while the ball is down that end, he's going to make that change at the opposite end. And Callum Monaghan, who made one astonishing save in particular in the first half, who's actually scored en route to the final. Matt Russell said things were going so well in the first round. They were scoring so many goals, he decided to put his goalkeeper up front, and Callum Monaghan smacked one in from 25 yards, which wasn't the idea at all. He was trying to be sympathetic to the opposition. He's now being replaced by Callum Reid. Charlie Williams will take the corner kick. It's into a really dangerous area, but it's been scrambled away by Crampton. Tanner can't link with Martin. Good work by the substitute Brandon Catton. Jobson won't quite catch that. Well, Hallows haven't made a change yet. Jobson's got that warning against him, but he's not pulling out of anything.
Well, they just found it such tough going, all Hallows.
Crossed by Wynn. Come for Williams to volley. Well caught. That was awkward for Nash.
Yeah,
would have bounced in front of him if he hadn't have caught it. Good clearance too. Martin in pursuit. Shepherded well though by Tom Sanders. Here's Dean. Just couldn't quite skip into space. Matthew Barrett sneaks the ball away from him. Wynn. Now Hodgson, whose goal still separates the two sides. Wynn galloping on, covered by Crampton.
Yeah, clever ball around the corner. I'm just intrigued to know St Bede's tactics. Was it you mentioned Matt Russell had been to see All Hallows?
Well, here's an opportunity for the substitute Brandon Camp. It came to him sharply. Yeah, I must admit, I got the impression that they don't normally play with a back three.
Well, I think they've made a specific job of Regan Salisbury marking, man-marking almost, Owen Dean. He's there. He hasn't really left his side. Tom Saunders has marshalled Tom Martin very, very well as well. Matthew Barrett in the middle. Defensively, it's worked an absolute treat to this point. There's still 5 minutes left.
The margins have been wafer thin, they really have. St Bede's in the blue and white, still lead with this man's goal, Hodgson. And able to link with Wynn. Hodgson. Williams couldn't keep possession.
Well, as you say, in terms of pace, talent, skill, work ethic, nothing separating these two.
Here's Williams again.
Is that one goal
Nice to squeeze the ball into the path of Hall. Held up by Wisdom, but not dispossessed. Skelton, he's lost the ball.
Oh, it's so difficult thinking of a man of a match for this game. Still just over 4 minutes of normal time to play, and at the moment that slenderest of the lead is being maintained by this back three of St Bede's, who have done magnificently throughout the game.
Here's Tom Martin though for All Hallows. Squeezed into the penalty area, but not with any conviction. But an error has presented the ball to Dean. St George. Martin with a chance to cross. Wouldn't quite comfort Dean. There was just a deflection on the ball that took it away from him and into the grateful hands of Callum Reid, who gets some involvement in the final.
I'm so loath to sort of tempt fate here. You still know there's time for All Hallows to get back level, and I've seen it over the last 2 days. I've lost count of the games. This is the 12th game.
Yep.
But on several occasions we've seen, even with team trailing 3-0 going to the second half, they've come back and equalised. But you just think St Bede's are going to hold out and hold out, be that immovable object to put themselves and their bodies on the line and in the way of everything All Hallows can throw at them.
Williams keeping the ball, tossed forward. He's won it down that end of the field now. That's as much as Nash can do.
It looks like substitution, St Bede's.
Yeah, Keelan Ampler's going to come on. He's a defender, he's a regular substitute for them. And it's the man whose goals have got St Bede's to the final, Jake Staunton, who's going to make way. He hasn't been all that involved today, but Mai's been involved in the run. The late equaliser to that dramatic quarter-final to extra time. They were nearly out.
Looking to find space, doesn't. But the ball stays with St Bede's and goes out for a throw on this near side.
Williams will take his time over the throw-in, but he has found Wynn.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some really good performances out there. I mean, I've got to give special credit to Michael Stickland. It looks very possibly like his mistake, and then leading to that opener for Cian Hodgson may well be the deciding factor in this game, just in that 90 seconds. But poor start, but what a reaction from him. He's had a fantastic game, as has many of his teammates, but they just haven't been able to break down this St Bede's.
Williams has found a really good pass here, and Skelton is in. He hasn't just quite got the energy to screw the ball back across the face of goal, but
yeah, All Hallows just haven't been able to get back in the game, haven't been able to break down this back three, back four as it is now of St Bede's. Huge credit to them.
Haven't looked as dangerous in the last 15-20 minutes. And Hall is in here from Hodgson's pass, and Hall blasts it into the roof of the net. It's the combination that started the game so well for St Bede's, when George Hall's shot hit a post and Cian Hodgson pounced. This time Hodgson's the provider and Hall is the goal scorer. One in the semi-final from range and a thumper in the final to surely seal the deal for St Bede's of Redditch. George Hall.
Well, tired legs out there from All Hallows. But what an emphatic finish. What a way to wrap up this game, surely.
And he's the youngest in the squad. He's not 13 till July, and that makes a difference in this age group. But what a game he's had, Hall. He's never stopped running.
He's had a fantastic game. He really has. He's been everywhere, hasn't he? I mean, I'm not going to give him the man of the match. He was right there in contention, I have to say. Tough one to call. I mean, my man of the match I'm going to give to number 6, Regan Salisbury at the back there. There he is. I think he's been absolutely outstanding. I think he's stuck to his task clearly with a job to mark Owen Dean. 46 goals this season. Kept him quiet. Superb display of disciplined defending. Very well marshalled as well, with Matthew Barrett and Tom Saunders at the back there. I think they've been superb at the back. Good goalkeeping. But that man, Regan Salisbury, man of the match.
Yeah, Matt Russell was telling me Regan Salisbury is a real character in his team.
Is he?
The yellow card's been shown to Kai Tanner. Tom Coleman, incidentally, number 15, has come on for St Bede's. He's going to be on the field at the end of the final, and probably celebrating at the end of the final. All Hallows, Dean, again, just halted on the edge of the penalty area, but by that man, Hall. Oh, and Jobson putting himself around again. Free kick's actually gone All Hallows' way.
No, I wasn't sure about that one. It seemed to be in the way, and
pick on some of your own size.
Trying to skip over and get the ball back.
So Dean will take the free kick. They're almost out of time, though. All Hallows. And it's turned away by the man of the match. Jobson. Just haven't been able to raise themselves in the final quarter. All Hallows, it's just been beyond them. There were times, particularly in the first half, when they looked well capable of finding an equaliser. St Bede's have had chances of their own. Here's Skelton. And they're nearly there. Oh, and that's really unnecessary. And that's Charlie Williams, I'm afraid, has responded in an unacceptable way there against Josh Stevens. And that's just going to tarnish things a little bit. One or two of the All Hallows players are very unhappy with the St Bede skipper, Charlie Williams, which is a real shame. It's important that the two managers intervene here and make sure this doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to have a word with Charlie Williams, and rightly so. The reaction was unwarranted, unjustified, excessive.
Archie Brady's going to come on too for a little taste of the final. A couple of the All Hallows substitutes, Harry Hyde and Cameron Chambers, are also stripped off. Important to mention the other boys who've been involved in the squad today: Jacob Stadler, Billy Humphrey and Luca Colella.
Josh Stevens went down. It's what colour it's going to be.
The referee is going to have a strong word. It is only a yellow card for Charlie Williams.
Nice.
But he scored 2 wonderful goals in extra time of the quarter-final against Samworth Academy. The real scare that St Bede's had on the way. He's looking suitably apologetic towards
nice to
Stevens.
see, wasn't it?
That's important.
Very important, yeah. Josh Stevens made the tackle and then handled the ball. Nothing's going to take the gloss off this victory for St Bede's.
Lee Marker bringing on Cameron Chambers, who only came into the squad late in the season but scored some goals recently. Important everybody gets a bit of a experience. Archie Brady, number 16 for St Bede's. Gentleman coming off.
Well, there's certainly not long left in this extra time period, but there is still time. Can All Hallows find a way back here?
Here is Williams. Pullen. There's a miscue, and it's come from Martin. And there's still an opportunity here. It's just fired across the face of the goal that time. It hasn't been Dean's day.
No, it hasn't, but we've seen very clear signs of just what a talented young player he is.
It was his extra time goal in Hastings in the last 16, which kept All Hallows in the competition, kept them on course for this final at Derby, which they've certainly graced with some glorious moments. One huge chance that Jobson had in the first half, which was critical.
Another change here for St Bede.
Well, I think
Staunton
worthy
back on.
champions, they really have tactically given us a masterclass. Great discipline, great shape, high quality from St Bede's throughout, from start to finish. Just really blunted All Hallows' attack at every opportunity, frustrated them.
They're about to have some fun, those boys. So not far home. Can be back at school by end of school. And they'll walk into school as national champions. Here's Staunton. Anywhere downfield will do.
Yeah.
Certainly one of the best supported schools at these finals. So this group reached the last 16 at under 12 level last year, and under Matt Russell's guidance this time they've gone further. A group of players have already won 4 district trophies and 2 county cups together.
Wow.
No football field to practice on all year, but that's not stopped them.
Boys, as we head into the latter stages of this extra time, very quickly will be taking place.
And it is St Bede's of Redditch, who are the under-13 national champions. Great credit to their opponents from Surrey All Hallows, who were in this game right up until the closing stages. But a goal at either end of the match, first from Cian Hodson, and then at the end from George Hall. Assists provided by those 2 players for each other have crowned St Bede's of Redditch the under-13 champions.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable game, full of quality. 2 different contrasting styles of play, systems deployed and everything else, but St Bede's worthy winners in the rain here at Pride Park. This will live long in their memories. Great experience playing the home of Derby County Football Club. A testament to wonderful qualities shown by both sets of players.
And here's a little thought for the goal scorers. Cian Hodson and George Hall have got goals to their name at Pride Park, and so have Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Thierry Henry and Paul Scholes. They've scored here too.
Oh, what an illustrious company they have joined. This was the moment to forget, wasn't it? Michael Stickland's mistake, but then how quickly was George Hall? What a game he had. Superb, followed up neatly by Cian Hodson. Gets the opener 90 seconds, and what a start to the game, and how crucial and pivotal that turned out to be. Really settled the side. Meant that All Hallows were chasing the game throughout. Wonderful scenes as the players come over and see their supporters. Superb support.
Stickland really recovered well from that awful moment in the opening stages. The rest of his performance was exemplary.
Yeah, it was. That was good to see, because he'll learn a lot from that experience. And to respond in the way that he did was fantastic. We thought this would be the
This was the big chance for Jobson, yeah.
Oh, great save, wasn't it?
Heck of a save by Callum Monaghan.
You know, and that moment kept them in the game, kept them in the lead. And again, you talk about those pivotal moments.
He's even managed to push it to one side, because if he just come back off his body to Jobson, I'm sure he would have gobbled it up at the second time of asking.
Yeah.
And then Hall from Hodson's pass thumped into the roof of the net.
Yeah. Capped a fine afternoon's work. That young man.
He's on the books of Birmingham City and he supports Aston Villa.
Oh dear.
That's not going to work, George.
It's never going to work out. Oh dear. Lovely.
And somebody will remember that in 6 or 7 years' time when you're scoring for Birmingham City in professional games. I'm sure I heard once that he was a Villa fan, and your secret's out, mate.
Yeah, it's got to be buried.
You were my
somehow.
man of the match, George Hall. I'm going against John on that one. I thought Hall was
Oh,
fantastic.
it was such a tough call to make in the end. He really did have a great game. Superb support again. Look down below us. Hundreds of them from some beads just down the road in Redditch. Thoroughly enjoyable game.
So some beats of Redditch have beaten All Hallows of Farnham by 2-0 in the Under-13 Boys Schools Cup final.
So I'm joined now by All Hallows coach Lee Marker. Lee, first of all, huge congratulations on a brilliant final. So much to be proud of for your boys.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic achievement just to get here. You know, it's been a long road and boys have worked so hard. So just enjoying the occasion and everything that PlayStation and the SFA have put on. You know, we've deserved to be here, and yeah, the boys have enjoyed it. So yeah, no, it's been a great achievement just to make it this far.
And what's it been like, the whole experience, playing inside this wonderful stadium in front of a big crowd? It must really give you a lot of experience for the future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hopefully, I said to a couple of the boys at the end when we were consoling them that there's a few in there that could well be playing on somewhere like this on a weekly basis. Like you said, with the crowd, it's fantastic. Thank all our parents and support that came. Obviously, St. Bede's have had an unbelievable amount to come and support. You know, the atmosphere was brilliant through the whole game, so it's been a fantastic occasion.
And obviously not the result you guys are after today, but what's your message to your players?
Keep going. As I said to them, we've got 3 more years. I truly believe that we have the potential to go on and win it again. Not again, but we go on and win it in another year. And we move on for next year. But congratulations to St. Bede's. It was a fantastic game and a big well done to those boys, and you know they should be enjoying this.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Congratulations on a great final. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Marker. Ladies and gentlemen, now with the coach of St. Bede's Catholic Middle School, Matthew Russell. Matthew, before we get to the result, just talk to me a little bit about your support here today. One of the craziest crowds I've ever seen, and not just in this event.
Oh, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? To have nearly 500 out of 600 pupils come to support us today is absolutely wonderful, and a real credit to the ethos of the school that the pupils wanted to come and support the team. It's been absolutely brilliant.
And they've given you a real performance and a result to be very, very proud of as well.
Oh, unbelievable. Credit to All Hallows. I thought they were absolutely fantastic as well. Made it a really good national final. And they pushed us all the way, and it was only the second goal late on that I think that where I actually felt comfortable.
And how much of yourself and your boys enjoyed... Well, if you thought you couldn't get any more wet, they've proved you wrong. I was just about to ask how much of you and your boys enjoyed today. Obviously playing in a massive stadium for the first time, it must be an incredible experience, and you seem to have a very good rapport with them.
Oh, they're wonderful lads. They got to high school at the end of this year, and we as a school and me personally will miss them immensely. They're a tremendous bunch of lads with really good character. I think you've seen that today. They've got a real team spirit, and I'm really glad that they pulled through at the end.
If this is the last time you'll coach them, what a way to go out.
It's the last time I'll coach them, and that is a shame. But yeah, you can't ask to go out on a better stage, you know, in front of a massive crowd at a fantastic stadium. So I'm really pleased.
Congratulations once again, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for St. Bede's.